Let's go, girls.
Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe.
Let's go. It is WTF, Women Talking Football, not to be confused with WFT. We are the women, a pair of producers for Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Dave Campbell's Texan Live. I'm the executive producer. My name is Ashley Pickle. Sitting over there, running the dials, turning the knobs, it's our associate producer, Miss Mallory Hartley. Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Yo. We both went with the all-black shirts today. You look like a floating head. I look very dark, too, though.
I guess I do. I didn't realize that. I did ROF earlier. And
Yeah,
I didn't
Powers
realize that I
said it
looked
to
like
me
a
earlier. That's how I
floating head.
figured it out. He was like, if you didn't have like the little design on the front of your shirt, you would look like a floating head. So
That's nice.
that seems right. You might notice that we have a different backdrop right here. It's not our normal women talking football, and that's because we have an incredibly exciting episode. We'll get to this in a minute. In the back half of the show, we'll be announcing our Week 4 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight Spotlight games, and then we'll break down the Concho Valley region out there in not big country, but a little bit further west than big country, but also not West Texas. It gets confusing, but we'll break all that down. Why do we have YoQuiero up on the board? Well, one, they're a proud sponsor of Dave Campbell's Texas.
Let's go, girls.
Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe.
Let's go. It is WTF, Women Talking Football, not to be confused with WFT. We are the women, a pair of producers for Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Dave Campbell's Texan Live. I'm the executive producer. My name is Ashley Pickle. Sitting over there, running the dials, turning the knobs, it's our associate producer, Miss Mallory Hartley. Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Yo. We both went with the all-black shirts today. You look like a floating head. I look very dark, too, though.
I guess I do. I didn't realize that. I did ROF earlier. And I
Yeah,
didn't realize
Powers
that I
said it
looked
to
like
me
a
earlier. That's how
floating
I
head.
figured it out. He was like, if you didn't have like the little design on the front of your shirt, you would look like a floating head. So
That's nice.
that seems right. You might notice that we have a different backdrop right here. It's not our normal women talking football, and that's because we have an incredibly exciting episode. We'll get to this in a minute. In the back half of the show, we'll be announcing our Week 4 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight Spotlight games, and then we'll break down the Concho Valley region out there in not big country, but a little bit further west than big country, but also not West Texas. It gets confusing, but we'll break all that down. Why do we have YoQuiero up on the board? Well, one, they're a proud sponsor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We have all of these gifts, socks, scrunchies, the whole 9 yards. Mal?
I got one too. I got a scrunchie. I need to get the rest of my stuff here.
And the rest of
too.
the gift,
And
she instantly pulled that scrunchie out.
I love scrunchies, and ones with avocados on them are even better. So look at how cute that is.
And the lady that brought them is Miss Tara Murray, the Vice President of Marketing for YoQuiero. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. We are so excited to have you on for a couple of different reasons. The first of which, of course, being YoQuiero, being a huge sponsor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and our partnership. But also, you're like mega sports fan, which rules.
Yeah, seriously. My husband, he calls himself the sports widower during the weekend.
That's so
I
good.
legit turn on the games, whatever games are on. You know, it's been tennis, it's been football, it's been golf. It really doesn't matter. It goes on, and he's like, really, again? And I'm like, yes, sir.
Yes.
Do your deal, and I will be right here.
This is what we're doing. And we were like, Our Lady. Like, that's
Yeah.
our type of
Yes.
people.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So we'll get to this first part. YoQuiero is the proud sponsor of our Team Mom Appreciation Award, and that's always been one of our favorite awards to celebrate. I think that we focus so much on student athletes and coaches and all of that stuff that sometimes you forget about the people behind the scenes that are feeding them snacks, that are bringing them to practice every single day. For you personally, what was so special about having YoQuiero sponsor the Team Mom Appreciation Award?
I was a teen mom. I have 2 girls that are now in college, and they were in a ton of things while they were in high school. And, as a parent, my husband and I were very fortunate enough to be able to be involved in their sporting lives as they were growing up. And when my daughter was on the track team, they needed a team mom. Track isn't one of those high-profile sports in high school. So I stepped in, and you really do a lot of behind-the-scenes things. And, the moms that I've talked to for the awards we've given out, they don't do it for the recognition. They do it for the love of the kids, the love of the sport, the love of being involved in their kids' lives without really having it not be too, in their kids' face, so you're there helping. And I think our kids, even though mine, I always got the eye roll a lot because my girls are really good at the eye roll. Yeah.
Well, where'd they get that from?
Yeah, I don't know. My husband, as I was watching sports.
There we go. We figured it out.
But yeah, they do it just to be involved and to be around. And, it really has a special place in my heart because it does take a lot of work, but you love every minute of it, and being able to help those kids whose parents aren't as fortunate to be able to be around as much. So to be able to be there, provide the snacks, provide help to the coaches. I was also a teacher. So I know how time is so short for the coaches and for the people involved in school athletics, that they just sometimes don't have the time. And so being able to step up as a parent that had the time to be able to do that, you get to do a lot for so many people, and it just means a lot to me. And at YoQuiero, we're a family-owned business. So for us to then be able to help families, help kids, help students, help parents, in our community, in all of these high schools, it's so wonderful for us.
It's the perfect marriage. And it's funny because you talk about track too. We're so football minded here all the time, but you think about track, and honestly, that goes hand in hand with Texas high school football as well. But those are long days. Like, those track meets are long days. Probably, that's got to be the longest period for 99% of people, other than maybe a tennis tournament or a golf tournament, that those other sports, you're out there in the cold weather in March doing that.
And that's typically once a week too, right?
Yeah.
Once a week, and that's a grind.
It's crazy. And of course, my daughter, she jumped and did the 4x4, and jumping is at the beginning, and the 4x4 is the very last event. And so, by the end of the day, we're like, okay, let's go. But no, we enjoyed every minute of it. And my oldest daughter was involved in agriculture, and, they didn't necessarily have team moms, but just being there for the events and hosting and really working with the kids and the teachers. Again, it just holds such a special place in my heart just to be able to give back and to do for those people.
Well, and that's just awesome. It warms our heart. Like we said, we love the award itself. When we knew it was a family-owned company and how important that is, and the human aspect of it is to y'all, it was just perfect. And speaking of it also being perfect, Saturday, for those of you who might not know, is National Guacamole Day.
Yes, it is. And I promise it's not something we made up. Being a guacamole company, it is a legit holiday. I really wanted it, to have the day off, and this year it's on a Saturday, so we all can do that. But yeah, it's National Guacamole Day. So we are having a big event on Friday, if we can get into that, at Highland Park High School, where we're going to be announcing the team mom for that high school. And we are in partnership with the Dallas Cowboys.
That rules.
That's awesome.
I know. It's going to be so exciting. And we've teamed up with DeMarcus Lawrence as well. He created a big announcement video for us to announce the team mom, as well as our participation. And Rowdy and the Drew Pearson is going to be there at the game.
That is so cool.
Like,
I am so jealous that we're going to miss it.
I'm telling you, I'm seriously fangirl. And I'm worried about, I'm going to see Drew and be like,
hello, Mr. Parsons, hello.
Do you know who you are? That kind of thing, So I'm really have to work with me to reel that back with Drew, because, it's the Drew Pearson. So they're going to be able to participate in the coin toss and hopefully be able to talk to the players and just be there to meet the fans and the team mom. So
That is
for
so
us to
cool.
be able to bring all of these great things together to celebrate the Team Mom, Guacamole Day, the whole bit, we're so excited about this weekend. We can't stand it. It's
Highlander
awesome.
Stadium is going to be rocking.
Oh
are
my
you
gosh, yes.
are you going to give Drew a pair of avocado socks? That's the most hard hitting
And
question.
a scrunchie. I think
And
he
a
needs
scrunchie.
And a
too.
scrunchie, yes. And
Great.
a scrunchie, yes.
Good.
Usually with my guys, what they do is they put the scrunchies up on their ears so that look like little
love
ear
that.
things. And
That's
so,
so
yeah.
great.
It looks like a little avocado almost
It
with the
does.
tail
Look like
sticking
Shrek.
out of it.
You look like
Yes,
Shrek,
exactly.
honestly.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
That's too funny.
So yes, for sure, Drew will have a pair of socks.
That is so cool. That's going to be so cool for that team mom.
Oh,
That
yeah.
really is. And you mentioned it too. Obviously, you helped out with your daughters in the sports world, but you're a
Right.
big fan of Texas high school football as well. I mean, that's our bread and butter here at Dave
Yes,
Campbell's.
yes.
What's kind of your background with Texas high school football? Do you follow any specific teams at all?
Well, I follow our hometown team, which is the Hazlitt Eaton Eagles.
There we go.
And one of our quarterbacks is on the top 10 list right now, Noah Lugo. And so with my girls growing up, you know, we've been in our location for over 20 years. So many of these kids I've watched from kindergarten all the way up. They have friends that are playing at Tech, you know, that are playing, you know, going into playing professional football. So just watching these kids grow, watching how they perform, being involved and just following these teams and the coaches and it is getting a little bit more complicated now just for NIL. It's like,
Right.
okay, who's going where
Right.
and how. But to me, to really watch these young men grow and how they establish themselves on and off the field is really rewarding to watch and be a part of.
That's awesome, and it definitely
Yeah.
makes you feel like a part of the community.
Yes.
And there was, before we let you go here, there was one little rinky-dink game. I don't know if you heard about it last Saturday.
yeah.
I believe the Texas Longhorns is the name of them. They went and beat somebody out there on the East Coast.
My
Ala-
gosh.
Was it Auburn or
Maybe.
was it
It
the
was
Crimson
the
Tide?
game of my life. Not to me. I mean, seriously, I have sports
How
chills,
was it?
Like, seriously. My house was just nuts. Well, it shouldn't my house. It was my husband and I because we're empty nesters now. But it was crazy. And I was so nervous at first because it reminded me of last year's game. You know, it came up to the last play last year and they beat us by one. And I, like, literally my soul was crushed. But watching this team play and watching Ewers go through this transformation that he went in the offseason and become this transcendent player. And, you know, when we lost Bijan and we lost some of these Overshown and we lost some of these key players, I was like, oh, no, how are we going to do? But to beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa,
Just awesome.
oh, my God. I mean,
Just awesome.
and I am a diehard Longhorn, graduated from UT, and usually our big rivalry is OU. And I'm going to point now, I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever, OU. We beat Alabama in
Yes,
Tuscaloosa.
yes.
They are now 52-2.
Yep.
Hello. You know, and it just, I mean, just, I will have chills forever. This was the perfect sports weekend for me.
Yep.
Because the Longhorns won on Saturday. Cowboys won
Boys
40-0
won
on
on
Sunday. And I thought, you know what? I'm tapped out. Like, all is right with the world. Like,
It's good.
we're
We're
good.
going to have a good week.
We're good. Yeah.
Final
That's
question.
It was amazing.
Are you going to be celebrating National Guacamole Day by watching your Longhorns beat Wyoming?
Yes, I am.
Let's go. I
With
like
a
it.
big tub of guacamole and chips and
Heck
whatever I'm
yes.
going to have. I'm going to be in my chair with a thing of guac and a thing of chips, and I'm going to be having at it. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I'm excited because of how they played last week against Tech.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can't just snooze on Wyoming. I mean, they really came
They
back.
won't.
They came back well. And one of the kids that grew up with my girls, Titus Finn, actually played for Wyoming last year, and he's now
Oh,
he
that's
now
so
went
cool.
to the NFL. So
How cool.
we've kind of been watching Wyoming and how they've done due to his performance. He's a smaller running back, but really strong and a really, really good player. So I'm excited to see. I want to say they went to the Colts, not undrafted, but I think he ended up with the Colts. But so I've kind of have a soft spot for Wyoming just to watch and,
Yeah,
and
that's
see how they
soft spot
develop.
except for Saturday when they take on the Horns.
No, we're going to
Any
demolish
other
them.
day.
We're going to demolish them, and we're going to definitely put our thumb hard down on their heads. So I'm
correct.
excited.
Well, there it is. So a huge weekend coming up. Again, if you're
Yes.
going to be around the DFW area, go out and see the entire presentation there at Highlander Stadium with the Highland Park Scots, YoQuiero, and all of our friends will be out there presenting the Team Mom Appreciation Award. Well, Tara, Tara, we really appreciate everything that y'all have done, and literally, you are welcome back any point in
Yes.
time. Just
Dude, hey,
just come talk
call
ball.
me. I'm in. I'm so in because I have to talk with somebody. My husband just rolls his eyes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, we're used to that, so we've got you covered.
Perfect. Perfect.
There she is, Vice President of Marketing with YoQuiero, the proud sponsors of our Team Mom Appreciation Award. Appreciate everything that Tara and her entire crew do. And remember, Saturday, National Guacamole Day. If you as well are going to be watching the Longhorns or any other college football, grab a tub of YoQuiero guac, and you will have a fantastic way of celebrating National Guac Day. All right, Mal, before we move on to our spotlight games, let's hear from our friends at VCR Now. Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Week 4 of the, oh no, I didn't change it off of there. Week 4 of Dave Campbell's Texas
We love
Football
YoQuiero!
Tonight. We do love YoQuiero.
We do.
We really, really do.
We love it. Look, my scrunchie.
Yeah, this is seriously,
Correct.
like, honestly, out of every guest that we've ever had in, no one's ever brought us, like, this amount of gifts. It
No.
rules. Like, those are seriously
I
so
can't
cute.
get
Did you
over
see
the
her little
scrunchie.
necklace, too? It was a little
No.
avocado. It was so cute. And apparently, we have a bunch of YoQuiero guac in the fridge now, which
Oh my god!
I'm about to go feast on after
Yes!
this. So,
oh, that's amazing.
Again, if you're just now joining us and you missed our conversation with Tara Murray, the Vice President of Marketing for YoQuiero, you are definitely going to want to go back and watch that. She was fantastic, a great sports fan, and a guac lover. All right, week 4 of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is happening tomorrow night on TexanLive.com. You can stream it for free from 7:30 to 10. We dive in like NFL Red Zone and check out some of the best games across the state. Another fantastic slate of spotlight games. A reminder, if you haven't tuned into the show, we cover a ton of different games, but these are the ones that we specifically hone in on and are trying to keep you updated score by score. So let's start off
Thursday night slate.
yeah, Thursday night recaps. So if you miss either of these two games happening tonight on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. We'll start off with Pflugerville Panthers taking on the Bastrop Bears. Pflugerville trying to bounce back from an 0-3 start, but Bastrop been looking really, really good. Our friend Tommy Yarish is on the call there for the home matchup for Bastrop. Really, really excited to see how these two teams match up. He'll have a full recap on that tomorrow night on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. Then the second Thursday night recap that we will have is the New Caney Eagles taking on district foe. A reminder, district starting for a lot of schools this week. Out of 13 6A, the Woodland Highlanders. New Caney's off to a 2-1 start and looking to continue that. But the first district matchup for both these squads, Trevor Bullard will be on the call from Wood Forest Stadium at 7 o'clock p.m. tonight. Moving on now to our super slate of Friday spotlight games. This one is tasty no matter which way that you cut it up. District 8 5A Division 1, the Barbers Hill Eagles taking on the Crosby Cougars. Trevor Bullard again on the call for this one, 7 o'clock p.m. from Cougar Stadium. Really interested to see how this plays out. Barbers Hill under Carl Absek is off to a fantastic start at 3-0. Crosby under new head coach Joe Willis off to an 0-3 start and looking to bounce back. Crosby has had some difficult competition there. Oddly enough, both of these two coaches used to coach together at Cedar Park back in the day. Now back in the same district foes at this point. So this one is very tasty. We will also have a full feature over Crosby and Coach Joe Willis. We sat down with him talking about his move at coaching school, and so I put that one together and I'm quite excited for y'all to see it. So please tune in for that one. Coming up next on Friday night, we head up to the DFW for another district matchup from 6A, the Waxahachie Indians taking on the Cedar Hill Longhorns. Waxahachie currently leading that district with a 3-0 start. Cedar Hill looking to bounce back. Bill Howard and Trevor Howard will be on the call there from Longhorn Stadium, 7 o'clock p.m. Friday night. We will have all of those highlights and instant reactions for you on Dave Campbell's Texas Football tonight. Let's stick in the DFW region. This one is tasty. Every single year, what we always anticipate, especially this year, with Allen really struggling, but out of District 5 6A, this honestly could be the game that decides the district championship. And I know it's really early to be saying that in week 4, but these two teams have solidified themselves as the front runners in District 5 6A, both off to a 2-1 start. Denton Geyer, of course, falling to Aledo, and then Prosper also at a 2-1 from Children's Health Stadium at 7 o'clock p.m. Thomas Lee and Pete Nelson will be on the call. We'll be talking with them at halftime and just really excited to see how this one pans out. Prosper has been putting up offensive numbers this year that are just insane. So seeing how well they can keep that trend going against a Denton Geyer defense that they can go pound for pound with just about anybody. Really, really excited to see how this one shapes out.
I've been to this matchup. I think I went to it last year.
At CH Collins.
At CH Collins, and then I was at it the year before.
At Prosper?
At Prosper. So I've been to this matchup 2 out of the 3 past years. So I'm sad that I'm missing it this year, but it always seems to be just right down to the wire each time. So definitely tune into this one.
Moving on now, down back to the Houston area we go. Michael Silvers and Brent Moody on the call from Cy-Fair FCU Stadium down there in Cypress, 7 o'clock p.m. A district matchup in District 16 6A as the Cy Woods Wildcats take on the Cy Ranch Mustangs. Gavin Moritz will have a full feature, a sit-down interview with Sean McAuliffe, the head coach there at Cy Ranch, about how well they're doing this season. They're looking to try and control that district. It's, I think, the 4th or 5th year under Sean McAuliffe, and he has really made that a staple program down there in District 16 6A. So excited to hear about kind of the build that he's had there with the Mustangs and how he plans to continue it. But a tasty matchup in the Cypress area. Moving on now to a little Central Texas, Greater Austin area extended. Yeah, Pflugerville Weiss is definitely Austin area. You can consider New Braunfels Austin area. I consider that more hill country.
Yeah.
Regardless, a battle of 6A foes here as the New Braunfels Unicorns take on the Pflugerville Weiss Wolves. Weiss off to a hot 3-0 start there from the field. They will be welcoming in the Unicorns. Tommy Arish will be on the call. That one's not until 7:30, but we'll talk to Tommy at halftime, and really excited to get his thoughts on this and really the Pflugerville district as a whole. They've got some bright spots, but Weiss is definitely leading the pack there. So excited to see what they have to do. And New Braunfels started off at 1-2, but you got to think, I mean, they lost to Denton Ryan on by 1 point, on the final play of the game. So they're a really tough team. Don't let that 1-2 start fool you into thinking that this team can't contend. And finally, man, boy howdy, I am pumped up for this one. Absolutely pumped up for this one. A cross-classification matchup out of District 4-3 Division 1, the Brock Eagles going to try and revenge their loss last year, also in Week 4, to 3A Division 2, the number 2 ranked Gunner Tigers. This one will be 7 o'clock p.m. from Tiger Stadium in Gunner, Texas. Cullen Brown on the call. We are just hyped up for this one. It's right around the same storyline as last year, where Brock gets off to a start and you're looking at their record at 1-2 and you're going, what in the world? Yeah, they're supposed to be, state ranked. What's happening? They punch up and play one of the most difficult non-district schedules. And I know that this one is technically punching down, but Gunner, you may have heard of them. Cannot wait to see what Jake Fizell and his Gunner Tigers put together, drawing up against a really big opponent. Gunner ended up beating Brock last year. Can they do it again? We will see 7 o'clock p.m. from Tiger Stadium in Gunner, Texas. Incredibly excited for that one.
Both played in the state championship. One lost, one won, but both have state championship experience.
I did laugh. I guess this is something else that we can announce. I don't know if he's announced it yet, but we'll just blow up his spot here. We are incredibly excited to have on the desk Nick Laupius, our normal host for anybody who watches Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, and making his analyst debut, coming all the way up from the Houston area, Gavin Moritz. If you've watched the show, you've heard him almost every single week, either in a feature story or calling a game. He will be calling, oh goodness, what's he calling the night before?
McKinney North Lancaster, I'm sorry.
McKinney North in Lancaster. So he'll be calling that tonight on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. You can tune in and watch that. And then tomorrow he's making his way up 35, headed to the North Texas Television Studios to make his analyst debut. We are so excited to have him on. I don't remember where I was going with that.
I know he's excited too. I
Yes.
mean, he is just over. Now, Ish is going to be in.
Oh, yeah, Ish. That's where I was going.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength
Yes.
here. But yeah, we're kicking Ish out of the studio once again. No, he's going to be down in San Marcos to watch Texas State's home opener against Jackson State. So we invited Gavin to come up and test his knowledge on statewide Texas high school football. I know he's going to absolutely crush it because he's just so knowledgeable, especially when it comes to the Houston area. He's been calling games down there since he was, 15? Couldn't even drive yet. So really, really pumped to have him on the desk. He is just an unbelievable talent. So we're excited to have him. And I know he's very, very excited too.
Yes, we are excited. But what I was laughing about was the fact that when we – so I actually ended up texting Coach Fizell and was like, hey, man, can we please broadcast your game? Like that, we want that Brock Gunner game so bad. And he was like, absolutely. So I told Mallory we got it, and we sent it in the Slack chat. We were like, we got Brock and Gunner. We're so excited. And Ish instantly responds, of course you get Gunner when I'm not around. And it's not the fact that he doesn't like Brock. Ish loves the pistol offense that Gunner runs. We all have made it very clear that we love watching the pistol offense that Gunner runs. Like, that's not a bias thing. That's just, it's fun football to watch. And so Ish was so mad that the week that he's not on the desk is the week that we get Gunner.
Sorry, Ishmael. We did that on purpose, actually.
Correct. Absolutely. So, all right, there we go. We hope that you will join us tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Stream it for free on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. That's TexanLive.com. If you're tuning in and watching the show, please feel free to share the link. Send it to your friends. Tweet it out. Let us know what you're liking about the show, what you're not liking about the show. Truth be told, Mallory and I have complete creative freedom over it. So if we're doing something that y'all don't like, let us know.
No one's telling us no yet. So
I was going to say, just
riding
come on the show
here.
and let us send us an email. I don't know. Just don't blow us up personally on social media. That's like my one request. But anyway, let us know what you like and what you don't like. Incredibly excited to join you back tomorrow on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. All right, Mal, before we get going here, there is one more thing to do, and that's to break down the Concho Valley region. So Concho Valley, one of the smaller regions that we break it up into in the state of Texas, and it's not smaller in size. Geographically, it stretches pretty far. It's kind of right there in like the middle part of Texas. But the reason that it's broken up so much is because with there being so many miles in between these programs, some of them fall into the big country, some of them fall better into the hill country, some of them fall better into West Texas. So it's kind of that middle part in between all the rest of those larger regions from a population-wise of schools. So we'll take a look at the 2 ranked teams in the Concho Valley. And that would be, starting off in District 2 of 3A Division 2, it is the number 4th ranked Wall Hawks. They are 2-1 on the season, a big win over Eastland and an even bigger win over Cisco. That was a very impressive 27-10 win over the Big Damn Lobos. Week 3, they went and they punched up to 3A Division 1 to play Jim Ned. Ended up only losing by 3, and that, in our mind, punching up into a really good Jim Ned team is a way for us to keep them at number 4. They have a matchup against Peaster this week, and then a week off before the big rivalry game out there that everyone loves. It's not a district rivalry, just 2 fun football teams going head-to-head every single year with the Mason Punchers. But Houston Guy, that flexbone offense is absolutely operating. Their senior fullback, Nathan Pepper, he was injured some last year, but they expected him to come back in a huge way, and he has so far. He's averaging about 60 yards on the ground every single week, so that's been really fun. And then leading the charge on defense, junior linebacker Ethan, and I think it's Michaelwitz, but I could be wrong on that. Apologies to Ethan if I said that wrong, but he's, 12 tackles per game. He has really been the bright spot of that Wall defense, and traditionally on offense, Wall is just going to beat you with size and speed because they're really big up front, and they can absolutely just pound it. And that's what they've been doing so far. But the Wall Hawks off to a really good start out there for the Concho Valley. The other ranked team in the Concho Valley out of District 3 in 2A Division 1. How about the Sonora Broncos coming in the top 10 of 2A Division 1, 3-0 on the year, big win over Ballinger on the road to start the season, then another huge win over Cahoma, and then they just finished off a win at El Dorado last weekend, and this week they're going to go take on the Bucks of Alpine. They are a 22-point favorite, according to the DCTF computer. Yeah, pretty big favorite there over Alpine, who's been struggling a little bit. But Blake Weston, the head coach in his 3rd year, took over a program that was consistently getting at max 4 wins a year. And year 1 came back 7-4. Last year, 10-3, made a good run there into the playoffs. And this year, off to a 3-0 start with quite a few more wins, it looks like, on the docket. And the biggest reason for that, the mitochondria of the cell, if you will, are their quarterback and their athlete and linebacker, Edgar DeLuna. Edgar DeLuna is insane. Are you talking about him in Players to Watch?
I am not. I'm talking about their quarterback.
Okay,
actually.
well, yeah, the quarterback's been great, but Edgar DeLuna, man, averaging 249 rushing yards per game.
Yeah.
Already has 11 touchdowns on the seasons. And then here's the other side of this, just for fun in his linebacker duties. 11 tackles per game, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles, just to rattle off.
That's
for 3 games, guys. 249 rushing yards per game, 11 touchdown, 11 tackles per game, 1 interception, 2 forced fumble, all in 3 games. He is that dude out there in Sonora, and that's saying something because Mallory will talk about his counterpart there at quarterback, who we've had our eyes on for quite a few years now. But Blake Weston's very excited about what his Broncos are doing out there in the Concho Valley. So now, in like a perfect lateral tease, let's throw it over to Miss Mallory Hartley to expand a little bit more on the fantastic players to watch in the Concho Valley.
Correct. Let's just get right into it here. We'll start off in one of the higher classifications in the Concho Valley, which, speaking of, there's only 24 teams in the Concho Valley, and then I'd say 90% of them are 3A and lower. There's only 1 team in 6A, which is San Angelo Central. And then there's one 4A Division 1 team, which is San Angelo Lakeview, and then all the rest are 3A Division 2 and less.
Yeah,
so
a
that's
lot of small
like
towns.
a lot of small towns, a lot of small school ball, but nonetheless, it's still a lot of fun. So let's start off in 3A Division 2. We'll go with San Angelo TLC Academy quarterback Lane Honia. I believe that is how you say his name. But he put up big numbers last season. 1,900 passing yards and 23 touchdowns through the air last season, and has just been even more explosive this season. Last week against Winters, he completed 16 of 23 passes and threw for 351 yards and 5 touchdowns. And many news sources actually named him the Concho Valley Athlete of the Week. So if that doesn't prove that he's just an all-out baller, I don't know what else does. And fun fact, he led San Angelo TLC in breaking their 24-game losing streak last season by throwing 6 touchdowns in Game 1 of this season. Like you mentioned, they went winless in 2021 and 2022, or 2020 and 2021, and then led him to a 4-7 season last season, and now they already have 2 wins on the season. So it's only growing up here, and he is a huge part of that reason.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is a signal caller stepping up to
really
be able
does.
to make some noise. And I mean, you know, they're kind of out there on their own a little bit.
Yeah.
But they have a chance to represent for San Angelo, and that's something that, you know, hasn't been done in quite a few years. Obviously, when Brent Davis was out there at San Angelo Central, they had some good years, and it hasn't necessarily lived up to that at this point. So yeah, if TLCA can get going, Lane will be the reason for that.
Yeah, they're actually their last winning season was back in 2015, I saw. So they're on the trajectory to break that record now. Moving on down, we've already mentioned his name, but let's talk a little bit more about him. It's Wall fullback Nathan Pepper, who's been there for a couple years. And for a guy that only played 9 games last season, he's kind of he got bitten by the injury bug quite a bit last season. His stats were pretty impressive. 135 carries for 1,065 yards and 15 touchdowns. He's averaging about 8 yards per carry, so that's pretty impressive. This season, he's had 27 carries for 178 yards and a touchdown. I think he's been a little bit injury bitten this year too, but he's expected to be fully back this week against Peaster. And yeah, he's part of that flexbone offense, and really just any kind of threat to any defense due to his speed and his agility. His footwork is absolutely insane. And then, yeah, so that's all I got on this guy.
Dude, he's so good. Like, if you're of the mindset of we need more fullbacks in Texas high school football,
yes.
Nathan Pepper is it. Like, he is so fun to watch. I just hope that he can stay healthy, because that's exactly what happened. He only missed about 4 games last year, so it wasn't too detrimental, but I believe they were in the latter half of the season when they really needed him. But he's just a big ol' electric player.
Mm-hmm.
We need shirts that say football flexbone fullbacks.
Football, flexbone, and fullbacks. Wallhawks.
Wallhawks. Go Wall.
Go Wall.
Caw.
Yeah. Well, and that just comes with the position of being a fullback too. You kind of are. You put yourself out there.
He's that old.
Prone,
I was gonna say
it's old style,
old
kinda
school,
ball,
running the
hard
flex
hitting.
bone.
Exactly.
He's just gonna mow you over.
Right.
I shout out Nathan Pepper.
Yeah. He's
Pepper,
fun.
pickle, fullbacks, football.
Vegetables.
Yes.
Pickle.
Correct.
Mark it. Stamp it. Love it.
No notes. Absolutely no notes.
Oh, Lord. All right, let's talk about Sonora quarterback and defensive back Jamie. You're going to have to help me. Burton. I think it's Burton.
Yes.
But I could be completely wrong. Bitron? Maybe Bitron. I suck at names. Anyways. Let's keep it moving.
I feel like I've said it 17 times before, and then you asked me how to say it, and I just blanked trying to read it.
Anyways, freaking awesome quarterback. Threw for over 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns last season, and he rushed for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns on the ground last season. And then I'm not done, because look, he also plays defensive back.
Because why not?
78 total tackles, 3 sacks, and 6 interceptions on the season last year. And I'd say he's pretty much the glue that keeps this whole team together. He returned this season as the leading passer, the leading rusher, sacks leader and an interception leader. It's so funny when we talk about guys like this because it's just the and he's just the do-it-all dude for this team. And what makes him the most dangerous is his elusiveness and his ability to use his legs at literally any given moment, whether that be on a design play or if it's just him trying to make something out of absolutely nothing. He's going to use his legs and he's gonna gain a couple of yards there. And he also can throw on the run too with great accuracy. So this dude is just all around dangerous, and no team wants to face a guy like this.
No, between him and Ethan, like it's scary.
Correct.
Genuinely, Sonora wants those two. They're gelling.
They're cooking.
And they're cooking.
Let 'em
cook. Like they're gonna keep cooking.
Exactly.
But no, that's a hell of a pair out there for Sonora.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on down to Mason running back, and I did not put this on here, but he also plays a little bit of defense as well. Ryan Todd, he's the do-it-all kid for the Punchers. He rushed for over 1,400 yards on 181 carries and 21 touchdowns. He caught 12 passes for 165 yards and 1 touchdown last season. And then let's switch over to the defensive stats, shall we?
And
94 total tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 5 interceptions on the season. Another do-it-all player, and that's what you're going to get when you start moving down these classifications. You're going to get just all-out athletes that coaches like, heck yeah, we're going to put you on both sides of the ball. You're an athlete. You're a stud. I mean, you're going to succeed on both sides of the ball there.
Well, and that's you want to talk about, I teased it earlier, but week 6, Mason and Wall play, and you want to talk about going to a game that is not going to take up much of your Friday night.
No,
go to Mason and Wall,
keep running.
because Pepper and Todd are just going to trade off absolutely blowing past people, and that's going to be a game absolutely decided on by whose defense steps up against one of those two players.
Right. You get the flex bone offense in Wall, and then you get the wing T offense here in Mason. That's going to be it
rules.
It's going to be
and the clock will not stop.
No, it won't.
If we even tried to check into that game, it would be like, our show's not even started yet, and that game's already in like the 4th quarter.
Exactly. All right, let's go ahead and round it out in the smallest classification. Erie and County running back and linebacker Parker Posey, another two-way player, 2-year starter on varsity, 28 carries, 202 yards, and 6 touchdowns. On the ground, 5 catches for 247 yards and 7 touchdowns as a receiver, and then 99 total tackles on the year last year. Obviously a very, very impactful two-way player. He led the way last season in their historic run to the state semis, and then, of course, they fell short to Abbott, I believe, in the state semifinals. Pretty good slate of kids here to watch in the Concho Valley. A lot of smaller school players, like I said, but it almost seems more fun to me to look at these smaller school kids because of the kind of stats that they put up on both sides of the ball. I just think that's so freaking cool to watch. I mean, you see kids getting over 2,000 yards on the ground as a running back, and then you switch it over, and they're like, oh, yeah, he's also a linebacker, and he has over 101 tackles on the season. Like, it's really cool to see that. But you get a lot of that in the Concho Valley, and sometimes that's even better than all the big-name guys that, go play Division I ball.
Oh, yeah. No, you ain't got to convince me that small school ball rules.
It rules. Concho Valley is a living proof of that. So
very well have been and will always be on that train. So there you go. The ranked teams and the players to watch in the Concho Valley. If you're not doing anything week 6, Wall and Mason slaps every time.
Let's do it.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you again to our guest, Tara Murray, the Vice President of Marketing for YoQuiero. Remember, celebrate National Guacamole Day. Go pick up some YoQuiero guacamole. You don't get cool scrunchies like we do, but you can go pick up. Maybe if you go buy one, maybe there'll be scrunchies there. I don't know. But celebrate National Guac Day. And watch Dave Campbell's Texas football tonight, 7:30 p.m. on TexanLive.com. Tell your friends about it. It is completely free for anybody to watch. Nick Laupius and Gavin Moritz will be bringing you all of the action on Friday nights. Until then, I think that we will see y'all next Thursday. Do you have anything else?
No.
All right.
Watch our show.
Watch our show. Make all the hard work worth it.
Correct.
Please.
Correct, please. Oh, we're going to be out at games.
Yeah.
You're
tonight.
Tonight.
This is definitely not a pre-recorded
No,
show.
it's not.
You can't prove that at all.
No, I'm wearing a Dave Campbell's tee right now.
Right now.
I'm going to be out at South Lake Carroll and Keller Timber Creek, so super excited for that. We're going to be, Carter Yates and I will be going, and we're going to be looking a lot at the prospects, especially on the South Lake Carroll side. So
Nice.
Where are you headed?
Shmael and I are headed to Wichita Falls. This one I'm super excited about. Lubbock Cooper coming on to take on Wichita Falls Rider. We're going to get some 5A Division I action in, I think, our small college, non-FBS college rider, Corey Hogue, will be there too.
Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know
we'll have a
that.
good crew out there. Gonna go see our buddy
Squad up.
Grant Freeman.
Yeah.
I sent him Dub last night. He said Dub is still grounded, so it's okay. We'll figure it out. Maybe I can go. My whole purpose of going to Wichita Falls is to go free Dub. So we'll see if that's successful or not. But regardless, tune in to TexanLive.com tonight. Tons of games. And then, of course, tomorrow night for Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. That'll do it for us. Thanks again to our guests, for Mallory Hartley, Ashley Pickle. We will see you next Thursday on Women Talking Football.